Let us begin with the degree topic, remaining part of this topic. Yesterday you seen that no other degree, very few degrees means one of the degree you seen that how to changes positive into comparative, comparative into superlative. That's particularly you learn about no other degree and very few. Today we learn about something about the degree of sum more than two persons or thing. More than two person or thing, positive degree sum, subject plus verb plus as plus positive adjective plus as plus object. Some Indian leaders are as great as Nehru. This is the particular construction of the degree sum plus verb plus subject plus verb plus as plus positive adjective plus as plus object. So comparative particularly construction is object plus verb plus not plus comparative adjective plus than plus some other plus subject, and superlative object plus verb plus not plus the plus superlative adjective plus of plus subject. That is the construction. With the help of that construction we can changes that sentences into comparative and superlatives as well. तर विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, आपल्याला पहिल्यांदा ते कन्स्ट्रक्शन जे माहिती असणं आवश्यक असतं आणि त्याशिवाय आपण त्यांचे चेंजेस करू शकत नाही. तर इथं आपल्याला पहिल्यांदा सम सगळ्या सेंटेन्समध्ये सम आहे. सब्जेक्ट पहिल्या सेंटेन्समध्ये इंडियन लीडर्स, दुसऱ्यामध्ये पोएट, फ्लावर, हिरोज अँड डेलीज. दॅट्स आर द सब्जेक्ट. पहिल्यामध्ये आर हा वर्ब आहे, सेकंड आर, थर्ड all sentences have the verb became are. Then as is there, we can find out the positive adjective in first sentence that became the great, popular, lovely, handsome and noted. That's are the positive adjective. That positive adjective changes into comparative in comparative degree and superlative form in superlative degree. That changes as well their types. Then every sentence have the as, and then last object Nehru, Wordsworth, the Rose, Amir Khan, Indian Express. That became the object. So that object come in first place in comparative and superlative degree. तर ऑब्जेक्ट जे ते पुढे येत असतं. तर बघूयात आपण चेंजेस. ऑब्जेक्ट इन फर्स्ट सेंटेन्स नेहरू. Write down as it is Nehru. Verb is not. Comparative adjective, find out the positive adjective great. So that became the greater. Then followed by than, some other, and subject Indian leaders, some other Indian leaders. That's are the sentence. The Nehru is the greater than some other Indian leader. That is the changes the positive into comparative degree. Second, we can change. Some poets are as popular as the Wordsworth. Object became Wordsworth. Write down here in first in comparative degree Wordsworth. Write down verb. Wordsworth is singular. Then write down is not. Then popular. Comparative have more popular. Write down. Then than, some other poets. That became the object. Then third sentence, some flowers are as lovely as a rose. Write down the first in the rose. That became the object. In comparative became subject is. not, that became the lovely, that positive adjective, make comparative, lovelier than, write down as it is, some other, then subject, flowers. So that is the way you can change the sentences into positive into comparative and afterwards superlative. Fourth, some heroes are as handsome as Amir Khan. Amir Khan became the object, that object come first. Amir Khan is not, that became handsome, comes more handsome. Handsome, handsome than any, that became the heroes, then some other, that is it, write down as it is, heroes, full stop. Then fifth, some dailies are as noted as the Indian Express. Indian Express became object, Indian Express, the Indian Express is not noted, more noted than some other dailies. So that is the way you can change the sentences into that positive degree into comparative, and afterwards we can change comparative into superlative. It is very easy one can understand that particular construction. First object, Nehru became object. In first sentence, that Nehru comes forward. Nehru is not the, Nehru verb became is, not as it is, the as it is, superlative adjective, that became great. We can change here greater, here is greatest, greatest of all, as it is, of all, subject, you can Indian leaders, so here also Indian leaders, Indian leaders. So that's way you can change positive into comparative, comparative into superlative. Nehru is not a greatest, is not the greatest of all Indian leaders. Second sentence, Wordsworth, that became object. Wordsworth is not so popular. Here is more popular. Here is most. Popular. Then write down of all. Of all. Then subject, of all poets. Third. Third sentence is, some flowers are as lovely as the rose. The rose is not. So verb and not is there. Then afterward the, we miss here the the superlative adjective lovely. Here we use lovelier. Here is loveliest. Loveliest of all flowers, and full stop. Fourth, fourth sentence, some Amir Khan, that became the object. Object in come forward. Amir Khan is not the handsome. Here more handsome is, here is most handsome. Some of all heroes. So that way you can change the sentences into another sentences. Fifth, that became the last. So find out the object. Object became the Indian Express. Write down here in first. The Indian Express is not the noted, more noted. Here we can use most noted as a superlative adjective of all. That subject dailies. So now all students, how we changes positive into comparative into superlative. It is very easier one with the help of that constructions. All students must be more practice on that sentences. You will be easily changes that sentences in easy way. तर विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, हे सगळे सेंटेन्सेस अत्यंत सोप्या पद्धतीने आपण इथं सॉल्व करून घेतले. तर तुम्ही सुद्धा हे व्यवस्थितरित्या सॉल्व करू शकतात. तर तुम्हाला व्यवस्थितरित्या ते सगळं construction जे दिले ते पाठ करणं आवश्यक आहे. All students must learn that all this the construction of the degrees. Now some examples. We can solve that examples and you can understand the particularly how to change that sentences in our examinations. So identify the sentence first of all. That became the sentence of no other. Person in the world became the positive degree. Person in the world became subject, was verb, beautiful became positive adjective, and her became object. So this sentence we change, that became pili. Pili means positive degree. We make cd. Cd means comparative degree. So find out object. Object became her. Her changes she. Was, here is was there, she was. Find out the positive adjective. She was beautiful. Beautiful has a positive adjective, more beautiful. More beautiful. Add than any other. No other changes, any other. Person in the world. Person in the world. That is the way you can change the no other into PD into CD, positive into comparative. She was more beautiful than any other person in the world. Second, we change SD. SD means superlative degree. She was, write down first object, verb, she was. The, more changes into most. Beautiful. Person in the world. So She was the most beautiful person in the world. That is the superlative degree we can change here. So now, very few metals are as precious as gold. Sorry, not good gold. Hmm. Very few is there. Very few. Metal became subject, verb, positive, positive adjective, and object. That became the positive degree. We change comparative degree. Write down the object here. Gold is more precious than many other metals. Means, so gold became object, come forward, there is verb, then positive adjective, precious, changed in comparative, more precious, afterward than many others, and metal became subject, changes in that object in CD. In SD, positive degree, so write down gold is one of the most, more changes in most precious metal. So that is the way you can change compare positive, comparative, and superlative degree. So another third example, no other city in India was famous as Ujjain. That became the positive, we change comparative degree. So Ujjain was more famous city in India. That is the way. And SD, Ujjain was the most famous city in India. That is particularly superlative degree. And last, very few industries are as fast growing as this. So that became positive, we change comparative degree. This is faster growing than most other industries. That is the comparative, and superlative is this is one of the most fastest growing industry. So this way you can changes these sentences into positive, comparative, and superlative. No other, very few, and last topic you seen that the sum degrees also. So our students must practice of all sentences that became the helpful for you to understand this topic. Thank you.